Keagan York. Keagan is co-founder and head of Forex strategy at Compass Global Markets. Doesn't it just surprise you here, Keagan, how the euro just keeps surprising to the upside?
I think it's more of buy the rumour, sell, and then it's going to be sell the fact once we get an actual result coming out of Greece.
Well, absolutely. And are we going to get a result? And, what sort of result is it going to be, in your opinion?
I think it's going to be a negative result. We've seen them kick the can now for, well, we have to be on 12 months at this stage, and we can't see any end in sight. The political leaders in Greece aren't going to want to have these riots continuing and making the hard decisions, because in the end, they're trying to keep their own jobs. So is there going to be a favourable outcome in the short term? Very unlikely.
OK, let's just put a theoretical point to you here. Now, if for some reason or the other Greece said, OK, we're going to quit the euro, what would be the impact on, A, the euro and the euro area?
Well, the euro area, I think it would actually be of a benefit to them. They're being dragged down by enough bad countries, you would say, at the moment. Getting one off the books would be a good thing. Take the hit and then move on. I think it'd actually be a positive for the euro. But this is still against my view. A bit like Merkel. Whilst I don't think the Greeks can actually afford to leave, I can't see them leaving just because they're too in ground now, and all the other countries wouldn't actually let it happen because they still like the idea of a union between all the countries.
Keagan, let's have a look at the impact, though, of that move by the euro. How did it play out, let's say, against the Aussie dollar here as well? And we had, of course, the Reserve Bank come out and keep rates unexpectedly unchanged, and that sent the Aussie on a flyer here. That could be more damaging, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could be. Like, you've already got the Aussie euro at historical levels. We did see a little bit of a retracement when the euro spiked overnight. It's hard to see that continue. I think there's going to be... The Aussie's actually holding in quite well, which is also surprising us, but as you can see, that the flow of funds coming into the country, because we've got interest rates at 4.25% set by the Reserve, is going to continue for at least the next month. So we can only see downside for the euro, Aussie possibly holding in, maybe slightly weaker, but not to the same extent as the euro. The Aussie-euro cross continues to rally.
OK, and, so, of course, that big move by the Aussie, as I mentioned, against the US dollar too, but the dollar itself, was it really subject to more the comments coming out of Ben Bernanke's mouth than those coming out of Angela Merkel's?
More than likely. I think that everybody was probably waiting for Bernanke to put a little bit of a positive spin on the positive payroll numbers from last Friday. We didn't get that. Most of his testimonial was just a repeat of last week, and then to say that the 8.3% is probably not really reflective of the economy at the present time. Could this be due to a couple of factors? People just maybe not even registering to, look for work. It's probably a case at the moment, especially during these cold snaps that they've got over there. So I think more than likely that the numbers probably following in, coming at the end of February, will probably be a little bit more bearish than what we saw this month.
OK, I want to just talk briefly about the yen as well. The possibility here that we've had the Bank of Japan surreptitiously coming into the market buying dollars. What have you been hearing about that?
We've been hearing a little bit, but it's unconfirmed at this stage. And to be quite honest, you would normally think that if the Bank of Japan was actually going to come in and intervene, they'd probably try to get a bit more bang for their buck and actually come in hard and try and get a few cent move at the least. But at the moment, I think there's just soft bids, probably a little bit of copycatting at the moment, down towards the 76.50 level. Just trying to hold it in above, the previous low that we saw back from 75.25 at the end of last year.
Keagan, thank you so much for joining us, Keagan.